I wonder if we can just mount this guy here. What? Look, there's already a hole right here. So if we put that little guy here. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. We're on camera now. We're on camera, act cool. Be a cool guy. All right, welcome to another job. Oh, what are we doing? That's a good question. What are we doing?
You're watching Service Call. In this episode, we have Cam doing Cam things.
Hell yeah, there you go. Close the ball valve to check relief. That's pretty critical, so make sure both valves are in the proper closed and open position. Felix, are you learning lots? I'm glad.
Watch and learn, apprentices.
This was a teaching moment brought to you by Tekamo HD. What are we doing? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I'm not doing shit. I'm grabbing parts, but Felix is doing an install on this for a breaker, last minute. They need a breaker on this for tomorrow's job, and this thing's not equipped with plumbing for a breaker. So now we get to put a breaker on it, plumbing for a breaker on it at 4 o'clock. And that's just how it goes sometimes, you know? That's how it goes. What do? Plan this shit out? It's all good. It happens, man. These things come up last minute. So what we're gonna do, basics. Breakers are high flow, one-way flow, right? You know, this thing's equipped with a thumb. A thumb is two-way flow, and it's not very high flow, right? So we gotta get a way to dump that high flow directly back to the tank, right? So come here, I'll show you. This is our return line. Well, it's not a return on a thumb because it goes both ways. But when we're running a breaker, this needs to be a return line, a straight back to tank line. We're not gonna move the hose every time, so we're gonna put a three-way ball valve in here. We're gonna stick a T in here. One side of this is gonna go right back to the valve. The other side with the ball valve in it, when the ball valve is open, that flow will go straight back and to the tank. So we have a nice uninterrupted flow back to tank. Does that make sense? So then when you wanna run your thumb, you close that, otherwise your thumb will just drift. And now you have your back to factory two-way flow. Does that make sense? Yeah? Once it's installed, I'll show you what I mean. So we're probably gonna mount this valve somewhere in the side here. This has to be open when you're running the hammer. So it needs to be very easy and obvious to find and to open. So there's a big long handle on here that they can turn. Nice indicator when it's open or not. It doesn't matter if they forget it open when they go to run the thumb will just drift. They can come back and, oh yeah, but if they forget, there's no indicator if it's closed when the thumb is, but you know what I mean? So they'll blow the breaker, you know, you can have some damage, blow some seals. Not in a good way either. Felix is working on the stick side. I'm just getting the fittings sorted out for this side, and we gotta run because the place is closing now, so I'm gonna see you guys later. All right? I'll be back. Here you go.
How was your trip?
Oh, it was good. I didn't get all the fittings because, yeah, I just didn't. What do you want me to fucking do about it? I can't help it. It was like 1:45 when I got there. Got a hammer? Oh, looks good. So, you got the other one done?
No.
Okay, tack it on, put those on. I have a bunch of fittings, so let's do as much as we can with what we got, and then we'll call it quits. I'll have to go back in the morning when they open again, and I'm gonna have to go to the other green line. I don't know, I'll have to go into the other places. We'll get most of it done tonight. I just, like, the blocks will be on, the hoses will be run to them. I just won't be able to get it all plumbed up, right? Because we're short fittings. Like, look at this. It's fucking comical. This is all I could get for fittings. This is what happens when we do this last minute. Now it looks like and I have to put my name on a shitty looking install. And I'm not happy about it, but like, what do you do? What do I fucking do? Like, what do I do? It is what it is. I don't know. But it's gonna be like that, which is fucking ugly. I don't like the way this is, so what I'm gonna try to do, because they didn't have any, is actually get like a JIC to ORB T. This is all JIC that he gave me, and then he gave me fucking adapters. I don't know. But if I put like an ORB tee like that, and then an adapter, or an ORB tee like that, you know, because they make them with the ORB on this end, and then an adapter, or an ORB tee like this, and then I don't know. I think we can cut down on our adapters and have at least one less adapter if we do it that way. I just don't like all the fucking adapters, man. Adapter. This is what, yeah, so, hose on, that there. They don't make ORB though. Nobody connects two fucking ball valves. That'd be stupid, except me. Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow when we have more fittings to f around with. So, but for tonight, we'll just get this thing burned on and call her good. Oh, hey, we're back now. We got most of it done last night. We got our blocks welded on. Felix stayed late and did that. Oh, it didn't help that I was told the wrong hose size too. So now I got like dash 10 JIC, which is very uncommon. Like everything you order is always like 8, then 12, but dash 10 is kind of a nice in-between size for this machine, but it's not really, doesn't make our job easier when I get dash 10 thinking that everything was dash 10. But it's actually dash 12. So whatever, that's fine. We'll get new hoses. We got adapters for a reason. This is gonna be the tricky part to make it look nice. This is a bit of a f around, but essentially it's gonna go something like that, you know, that or like that. It just depends how we kind of put them on.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a hole in the middle for weight savings. That's gonna go there. So that's gonna go like that. We got some different adapters now so that these will sit a little prettier. So instead of having all those gargantuan fittings like that, it'll sit a little tighter. And then the 90-degree hose like that kind of thing bent in there. Now I gotta figure out hosiery. I wanted to put this to the top of this fucking here. And then I gotta run a T off the bottom with this to the bottom of the T and then a short line out and up. So Felix will be here soon.
The breaker was installed by the rental crew and the plumbing happened at the same time. Missed both of those on camera with how the timing worked out. To make up for it, here's a promo code, CAM10. These go to support the mechanics that film with us like Cam and help support the channel. Make sure you use CAM10 on any Fortis HD purchases.
Good enough for me. Ooh, those hoses are getting a little tight though. Yeah, that's a little tight. We might have to point them forward. Yeah, we'll point them forward. Watch yourself, I'm swinging my big breaker. I hate tiny machines like this. I gotta slide my seat back. Nope, that's as far as it goes. Nope, that's it. Let's go. Am I gonna fit through there? Probably. I'm assuming I will. Those? Are you sure? Okay, like 100%. Okay, well, I'll wait until we twist our lines here. Just crack it loose a little bit. There you go. Yep. Perfect. That's good. Send it. Nice and tight so nothing moves. That looks good. The only thing I might do different here is pop this hose between here instead, and then it'll be a little, it won't be touching these crimps, so maybe gotta get a wrench for that. Like this is a little tight here. I mean, if we got a little bit longer of a jump on here, it would be better, but for now we're just gonna lift it up and put it between here instead. I don't know, it's kind of like 6 of one, 10 of another. We'll try it. Pretty good though. There we go, that's better. It's a little bit rubby on this hose here, but for now, we're gonna have to send it to work and kind of deal with it later when we have time. Well, what I'm thinking is we'll just get a little extension, a dash 8 to dash 8, female to male, stick it in here, and that'll bring it out like a ½ an inch or so. Then it'll be perfect. Cool, that looks good. I'm happy with it. Are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Considering it was all last minute. There's always hiccups when gets rushed like this. Does it look cool? No. It looks terrible, but like it's as good as it gets for what we were given. We just gotta double check our pressures on here. So go bring the truck over here. And like park it beside here. We'll need all the gauges. Yeah, I'm just gonna swing this around and double check everything else here. I think we're probably a little, well, probably a little high. I'd like to kind of run, like get pressure as we're running it. So let's see, what do we got? Yeah, we should have some, like one of these. We need a T. We need a running T. I need one of these, but in -10. We can put it to work, but we haven't confirmed what our PSI is at. It don't matter. It does. Like it actually is like pretty critical because we don't want to blow a fucking hammer up. Just need to get a gauge fitting on the end of this. Some sort of onion to join these. There we go. That'll work. Oh, that's mint. That's perfect. Here you go, Felix. Go grab some wrenches and rip this off, and then thread this onto there. And then that, we can put a gauge on that. -4 JIC or -4 NPT. That's kind of like your golden ticket, because I have tons of gauge stuff for those. Hell yeah, there you go. Cinch all those down, stick this on after, get those all real tight. Tight, you know? Hand tighten those. Okay, throw that on the left side line there. Then we'll be cooking. Not that one. What are you doing that for? Why would you do that? You know what?
Because then we can run it.
You're smart. That's why I hired you. I was thinking of deadheading it on that line, but you're a smart cookie. Hold on, it's not gonna work. Yeah, because the thumb will drift, but I'm really fucking strong, so I'll just hold it. But if I let go of it right now, you'll die. You'll fucking die. Ready? Can I just let go now? Hydraulically lock. You're smart. I didn't even think of that. Well, I want to also check relief pressure. So close the ball valve to check relief. Now if we open this and run it, yeah, we'll get our operating PSI. I want to see less than 3 because I think our, what is this one, an SM9? Yeah, SM9 is 2900. I don't have my flow meter here, but like it's not going to be over the flow requirements. So hop in the machine, or I'll do it. Here, you get to do this stuff. You get to do the fun part. I'll just run it. Point that one down like that. Yeah, tighten it up. It's gonna jump, but just, yeah. Okay, so let's try that. Oh, we'll fire it up again. That hose is gonna jump, like a lot.
45.
4 or 5?
Yes.
Okay, that's a little high for relief. So we'll have to dial that down. This should have been set way lower. That's a great way to break a thumb cylinder. Okay, well, we'll just crank down the thumb relief. We'll just crank her down until we get 2900. Way to go. Felix, are you learning lots? I'm glad. I love sculpting young minds, you know? That's tight. Oh, yeah. Okay, this one here, I'm gonna fire it up. I haven't cranked the relief out yet. You're gonna watch the gauge there. We're gonna dial it out maybe half a turn, see where the gauge goes, run it, try it. Okay. Go back here, try it again. Okay. Go back and forth until you're just under 3,000. Okay. I don't really trust these fucking Chinesium gauges though. Let's put a good gauge on. Yeah, I fucking hate these hoses. I honestly just buy these cheapo kits for the fittings because they're cheap. And that's fucking garbage. You can't even use this fucking hose with these gauges. These are such trash. We're gonna have to trust it. I don't trust them, but we'll have to. I'm not mad. It's just fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck is even that, you know? Chill, daddy. Oh, man. All-time favorite. We'll just dial it down on that gauge, and then we'll go double check it later. Just tell me when you're ready. Ready? Go.
Yeah, it's like 2600.
26?
Yep.
Still?
28.
28?
Still about the same.
28? I'm happy with that. Let's leave that. Max is 29. We'll call it 28. I usually set thumbs to like 25 to 2700 PSI. Any less and you start breaking your thumb cylinders. You should technically dial it down for each, but that thing can take 29. The thumb should be at 27. I think 28's a safe middle ground. It's better than what it was. So anyways, shut down, open the breaker, and then we'll try it again. And what's the flow requirement on this one? On the tag there, 12 to 23. Yeah, so we're fine. Okay, ready? You're just gonna have to walk it with me over there, okay? I didn't even think of the f***ing tying it in there, but man, you're so smart. I mean, that's why I hired you, because you're smarter than me. I hire guys smarter than me to make us look better. Okay, watch your eyeballs, everybody. We're gonna just give it a little tippy tap here. I don't want to get anything here. Here's my safety glasses. It works. 25? One more? Okay. What is our operating PSI on there? 1900? Okay. Still working. Okay. Oh no! Now I'm just making a mess. Man, I never claimed to be an operator. Yep. Uh-oh. See ya. Yeah, hook everything back up. Put our ball valves, everything back how it's supposed to be, our thumb line on. All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to work the thumb plumbing. You're renting this machine. We wanna make sure you guys are using this properly for the breaker and the thumb setup. So if you're running this machine with a thumb, when you have it in thumb mode, this valve here needs to be closed like that, because this line here, here's our two-way flow line. So the only thing that's gonna be different when you run this thing in breaker mode, this line, instead of going back to our valve bank here, you're gonna hit your dump valve here, and that's gonna go straight back to tank now. So if you do get in the machine and the thumb doesn't work and it's drifting one way, usually it's because this hasn't been closed again when you go to run the thumb. So make sure that's in the right position. Just to reiterate, it's critical when you're running the breaker to have this open. If you don't, you can blow the breaker and you might be, that's not my call, but you might be held liable for damage on that thing and resealing it if you blow the seals out. Why it looks like this? I think it looks pretty good. If it was a little more planned out, it would look a little cleaner. Like this, if I had a little more time, I would have either put a longer drop 90 on there, like a long drop like this. See how that one's got a nice long elbow? Something a little more like long like that. Or I can even just put a little jump size adapter, like a -8 to -8, male to female adapter. It'll act as a spacer and it'll just push that out a little bit more so it's not so close to that crimp there. Those are little detail things we can fix when this thing comes back from rent. The customer can call us to come back and tidy that up. But given what the timeline we were given and the budget we were given, this is what we got, you know, it's all we could do. All right, so make sure you got that in the right position. Open for breaker, close for thumb. Okay, I'll show you guys the stick side of the plumbing and where to have those valves set. This one with your thumb line goes to your thumb cylinder here. This one's your thumb. It's pretty straightforward. This is your breaker side. This right side of the boom is usually your outlet. It'll be marked a lot of times on the hammer. Make sure that's open if you're running the breaker. So we're gonna go over where your lines are supposed to be set. So open for the breaker. The little line on there tells you that it's open, just like any other ball valve. This one you'll have to use a wrench for it, and then make sure your thumb is closed. So if one of these is open, well, one's got to be closed. If I close this and open this, we will be in thumb mode. Thumbs up mode, baby. Close, open, hammer mode. That's fucking stupid. I love it. That's pretty critical. You don't want to be running the hammer and deadheading it with one side closed. So make sure both valves are in the proper close and open position, okay? They do this a lot from factory. That's the thing. I don't like it. I think it looks kind of goofy. I don't like having two ball valves. It's more shit for an operator to forget. So if you're gonna do this and you can plan it out, You can buy really nice 4-way or 3-way ball valves, right? So we'd have one line coming in, one valve block here, you know, with a big selector switch that would go between this and the breaker. And there's one, and that's it. Nice and simple, nice and clean. It looks a lot better. Some people say those 3-way valves have a little more leakage, I guess they've found. You know, so then the other thing you can do is put like a ball valve if you really need to, like on the thumb, like an extra ball valve, then you're back to this. But I don't know, man. I think it looks better with just a 3-way valve there. I don't really like this jumble of valves. All right, so we have hammer lube or chisel paste. Grease it here. There's even a sticker every 2 hours. Please don't forget, it's included with your rental. There's tubes in the cab of your machine, so use it. This was a teaching moment brought to you by Tekamo HD. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Right? I actually don't know. I don't speak German. I just thought it looked cool. Maybe it's some propaganda. I have no idea. We can cut this at any fucking time. Stop me before we get canceled.
Just a quick announcement. If you guys didn't know, we now have YouTube memberships. By joining and supporting us, you can get early access to videos, merch drop announcements, behind the scene photos, and more. Hit the join button to find out more.